I'm a pretty big deal, admittedly. Everyone knows who I am, specifically because of what I have done. I didn't plan it to go the way that it did. In fact, I didn't plan it at all. I just thought that it wasn't a bad idea. I mean, who wouldn't want to be like God, right? I'm Eve, the first woman, the first wife, and the first mother in the world. My ears heard from another being. This voice was different, a little on the loud side. Curiosity took me over as the serpent asked me a simple question. No biggie, true or false kind of test. But the serpent was crafty, more than any other beast of the field. He said to me, "Has God said you shall not eat of every tree of the garden?" Flee, flee, no. Why didn't I just flee? I should have gone to my husband. But no, I'm an independent woman. I can say or do what he can. Ugh, I stayed and had a conversation with that cunning serpent. I listened to him speak and I answered. His question was clever. He knew God didn't say we couldn't eat from every tree. So I told him, I had to correct him, right? We can eat from the trees in the garden. It's only about the tree in the middle of the garden that God said, don't eat from it. Don't even touch it or you'll die. Come to think of it, God didn't say don't even touch it. I don't know why I said that. Maybe it was my husband Adam that told me not to even touch it. Doesn't matter. Either way, I'm about to get deceived. My new clever friend gives me counsel. You won't die. God knows that the moment you eat from that tree, you'll see what's really going on. You'll be just like God, knowing everything, ranging all the way from good to evil. Really? I will have all knowledge? Wow! I could be wisdom herself. I won't have to read all those self-help books that have taken over my shelves either. So I looked. My eyes saw, and they were not satisfied. I had become clever in my own sight as my own temptation overtook me. I reached out and I took and ate. And then I gave to my husband and he also ate. The fruit was good. Actually, it was delicious. How could I have not shared? And who better than with my one and only man? I was deceived by the serpent. My husband definitely messed up pretty bad too. But I hear about another husband. He who is called Christ. He has come to save his bride. Adam, his disobedience. First sin, then death. Then no one exempt from either sin or death. That sin disturbed relations with God and separation from him. But Adam, who got us into this, also points ahead to the one who will get us out of it. Just as one person did wrong and got us in all this trouble with sin and death, another person did it right and got us out of it. But more than just getting out of trouble, he got us into life. One man said no to God and put many in the wrong. One man said yes to God and put many in the right. When it's sin versus grace, grace wins hands down. All sin can do is threaten us with death. And that's the end of it. Grace, because God is putting everything together again through the Messiah, invites us into life. A life that goes on and on and on. World without end. Could it be any clearer? Our old way of life was nailed to the cross with Christ, a decisive end to that sin miserable life, no longer captive to sin's demands. What we believe is this: if we get included in Christ's sin conquering death, we also get included in his life saving resurrection. We know that when Jesus was raised from the dead, it was a signal of the end of death as the end. Never again would death have the last word. When Jesus died, he took sin down with him, but alive, he brings God down to us. From now on, think of it this way: sin speaks in dead language. That means nothing to you. God speaks your mother tongue, and you hang on every word. You are dead to sin and alive to God. That's what Jesus did. Isaiah 54, verse 5 says, "For your Maker is your husband, the Lord of hosts is his name, and your Redeemer is the Holy One of Israel. He is called the God of the whole earth."